Hello. Happy Saturday. How's it going? A bit quiet out there. Everyone's enjoying their weekend. I'm gonna get my regular radio back on here. Welcome to episode 349 of Digital Iliad. We're making an FTL-like game in Godot. We're making more than one, really, when you think about it. The one we're focused on right now is our kind of idle, kind of chill, low-key, lo-fi first title we're trying to work on. Lo-fi flyby. Supposed to be just a chill game. I'm not quite done with this capsule art yet, but I think we're headed in the right direction. Some contrast issues I need to resolve, amongst other compositional problems. But what we're working on right now is a mock-up of their first ship, of the player's initial ship in the game, in service of our goal to get a Steam page up by the end of this quarter, which gives us about 2 months. I think we can do it. It'll take a bit, but I think we can do it. We're working on the layout for the initial ship. We were working on this catwalk a lot yesterday. I didn't think I liked it, and then I put this ladder in here. I had this idea for a ladder. I had an idea for a two-piece ladder. One ladder would take you down into the cargo bay, and the other ladder would actually take you up to like a kind of crow's nest, which I was thinking could actually maybe be like the living quarters for the pilot. I think that'd be kind of cool. I guess it can't quite be right here because we were gonna do things a little differently. I guess we could make it one ladder. Kind of like the two ladder thing. I want to have some airlocks on the side of the ship. Beyond just the main cargo door. I was going to have them be on the side here, but maybe it would be better if we put them down below in the cargo hold. I'm not sure. What we do need is we need a room in the front here as like a piloting, as like a, operations kind of pilots area. And then we want another room in the back that's more of like engineering. I've only really drawn the initial cargo bay. We want to make it small. Here's our like full viewport size. And I want this initial ship to really just take up kind of the middle section of it. The middle half, or whatever you want to call it. So we're trying to be careful about not overscoping the initial version of the ship, which maybe means that this single catwalk setup is maybe best. Maybe best. It kind of makes sense that the airlocks would be at the bottom of the ship. Now that I'm like thinking about it, kind of makes more sense to put them there. Because like you might not always open the rear hatch. The rear hatch is for when you like land somewhere or you like come into a spaceport and you can like open this big rear hatch. But if you formed like, what do they call it? They'll call it like an umbilicus or whatever, where like, touch tips another ship and you connect the two ships via an airlock. That's kind of probably more what's going to happen most commonly in a lot of situations, or maybe not a lot of situations in this game, but you could imagine that being standard, especially for things like maybe scavenging or like if you're interacting with a neighboring ship, like a ship that's docked next to you. So maybe we do that. Maybe that's what we do. But yeah, I like the idea of like a crow's nest up here. I'm not quite sure how Jonesy is gonna get up this. Maybe Jonesy rides on like Ripley's back when Ripley like goes up and down the ladder. Or maybe Jonesy just like pops into a vent and then like reappears somewhere else. Since Jonesy's not a playable character, that would be fine. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Playable character is a strong word. What we need to do is we've put too much detail into our walkway. In fact, I need to remove this piece of it, huh? And I need to actually split these into a foreground and background section. Let's see how we're gonna do this. I think what we should do actually is duplicate this layer. And then just trim away the parts of it we don't want. It's probably the easiest way to do this. We'll need to replace some of it though. We'll also need to fix this part. But yeah, we're just gonna have a chill day here. I'm gonna try to get back to my regular streaming pattern soon. I just was so tired this week. Do I not understand what's going on here? Oh yeah, I do. It's like, I don't feel like I'm drawing this correctly. Now I really don't feel like I'm drawing this correctly. Oh, there we go. Continue erasing the foreground and filling in for the background. We'll just take it as we go here. There's probably a quicker way to do what I'm doing here, but you know, we're just hanging out. What's going on here? Oh, this goes down one. Okay, interesting. I might go along. Hey, Nix. How's it going? Thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, you are the first one. Pretty quiet today. I probably took too long. Very slow day today for me. Slow week even. I'm gonna try to get back to my regular schedule next week. Yesterday I ignored you. Yesterday your messages were being eaten by a VPN for like 20 minutes. I feel like that's not my fault. Your hydrate still went through though. You don't know. You don't know if I hydrate, whether or not I hydrated. There's no way to know. There's no evidence. can't prove anything. The whole YouTube video? Yeah, well, can't prove it. Get out of the way, Ripley. Is this how I normally do it? It goes in advance. Okay, that's fine. Let's finish erasing the railings. We're splitting it into two pieces, as one must do. We're almost a whole week free of cigarettes, by the way. Oh, congratulations. That is quite a triumph. You stopped before, you always end up picking it back up after a few years. I think the longest so far were 3 or so years. You're hoping you can pump that back up? Nice. That would be excellent. That would be excellent for the long run, you know? Like, you never know what's going to get you, but you can suspect. But that's great. I understand. I understand needing that as like a stress response. There's times in your life where you're just like, it's just where I'm at. But yeah. I watch a lot of Star Trek TNG, and they're constantly going on about being your like best self and stuff, and I'm like, I guess, if I have to. I remember seeing that as a kid and being like, shouldn't that be easy? Shouldn't it be easy for me to be my best self? And now I'm like an adult with like a job and a side hustle and like all this stuff, and I'm like, I get it. That's actually like a pretty big ask to be my best self. Pretty big ask. Only someone warned you yesterday about working on the grace with multiple layers. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that you didn't, if I'm being honest. Kind of left me hanging. How do I have this set up like this? Yeah, it seems okay. Get out of here, ladder. What is even going on here? I still don't know if I love this railing style. I think there's too many rails, but it works. It works with the ladder quite well, so I think I'm going to accept it. I think I still want to make another one that's like wider, but it's more complicated because it needs end pieces to work, and I don't even think this is the right way to do the end piece, but it needs some kind of end piece to work correctly. Whereas this one, like, is pretty good. This one also needs end pieces, but they're, like, self-contained. You're fidgeting with smoking? Yeah, that is a rough fidget response, but I get it. Yeah. No, the cost of that sort of thing is crazy when you add it up. The cost of anything is crazy when you add it up, but... So the ladder probably also needs... So I don't know quite what to do with the ladder. I guess the ladder should be similar, set up similar. I don't know if the ladder is, like, too wide, but I think it's good. I think visually it's quite balanced. I think I need a better color. I think I need to go with the rest of the catwalk color or something like that. What I'm not quite sure about is whether I want to have it be like this, where you have the top and the side visible. So like where you do something like this, you know. I think I don't like it this way. I think if I did that, I would increase the distance between the rungs. So it would be like... this, probably. That'll probably be okay. I think right now, if anything, the ladder rungs are too close together. Maybe we try that. We'll replace the color in a second, and we'll try that. What I gotta do now is I gotta do this part. Now I gotta get rid of everything except the front, which involves something. You're here to disrupt Nyx's hegemony over the chat. I appreciate that. How's it going, Arneo? Yeah, everyone's slow rolling their way in here today, which is fair. I did the same thing. Okay, so now we got to erase like everything. Pixels. I can actually fit the eraser in here. Hey, Fox Shadow. Subscribe with Prime for 5 months. How's it going, Fox Shadow? We're doing some art mock-ups. Trying to get the stuff we need for a Steam page. It's been our drive. What have you been up to? Yo. Arneo, you've never, like, really smoked or been drunk? Yeah, my partner's like that. I'm not big into, like... big into that stuff myself. But the fact that my partner doesn't do it at all does definitely reduce the desire. It's no fun. No fun to make someone, you know, hang out. And be sober in a situation like that. Okay. I don't know why I just painted that back in here. The whole point was I'm erasing this stuff. Fox Shadow? What? Yeah, exactly. It's funny. No, we were talking about no, we were talking about different things. Conversation is drifting. How are you doing? What have you been up to? You know what I've learned as a slightly older person? What I've learned that my like 20-year-old self didn't understand is that like having fun is actually incredibly exhausting. Now I work too much to have fun. Like go out, like go out, be social, have a drink, that sort of thing. Exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. Wait, why does this feel so weird? This isn't quite on the same... I mean, it is, but there's something that feels strange about the way that this is set up. It doesn't feel like it matches up correctly. Fox, you're doing good. You're still plugging away at your remake. You're working on the combat and counter system. Nice, nice. You have the target, aiming, projectile, and impact management going. You're pretty pumped about it. That sounds great. That sounds great. Yeah, it's exhausting. Yeah, we've put most of our programming stuff on hold. We're just trying to get a bunch of art going, or a Steam page. All right, so now we can put Jonesy and Ripley here, and they'll just, oops, and they should just fit, assuming I put them in the correct. Scale of this looks okay. I still think the railings are like really close, but it matches up with the ladder okay. Okay, so now I want to try a version of this ladder that's a little different. I'm gonna move Jonesy over by like 1 or something. Outline Jonesy. Gives him that little pop-up book character look. I won't always have that. I'm just going to have it for the moment, just so I don't have to worry about things. That'll be just like on mouse over. We already have that set up. All right, so we're going to repaint this ladder. We're going to do it with the correct colors. You know what I probably should have done is I probably should have done it for the lower ladder first, but whatever. Steam page art. Are you looking to get wishlist going? Yes. Yes. Because right now, nothing goes anywhere, right? Right now, I get these views. I don't get a lot of views, but, you know, I get enough views where I'm like, man, the views don't go anywhere. I mean, the occasional really engaged individual will join the Discord or something like that, but, like, I need a way of collecting passive interest in the game. So I think the most important thing I do is to get a Steam page up as soon as possible. We're gonna use the same shade here, or do we want to use a slightly higher shade? I want to use a slightly brighter shade for the ladder. And so if this was in line, it would be here. And so if we did that, so it would be like, maybe we do like this. I'm thinking about separating the rungs a little further than what we got here. I think here this is a little too tight, especially if I want to add the multiple sides. Hey, Rhiannon. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Thought I went live too late today. Where no one was around. It's nice to see everybody. Why does this feel so weird? It's correct. It just looks weird. Looks wonky. Alright, let's keep finishing. Let's finish up our stairway to heaven here. The only question is, how tall is this supposed to be? That's the real question. So... if there's a room here, and the room here... so a door is 3 blocks tall. So we'd want the room here to be 5 blocks tall. 6 for the next floor. What was the math I just did? 3 blocks tall for the door, 1 more block for the ceiling above the door. Like, I don't think these rooms are going to be quite as big as the cargo bay, which is 5 blocks tall. I think the next room will be 4 blocks tall. And then another one for that. So the ladder needs to be about this long, about this tall. Well, maybe a little taller, but it needs to be at least this tall to reach the next floor. 40 pixels. Okay. Now let's measure from here. Is that the right place to measure from? Probably not. 40 pixels. It's like there. That works out. It works out okay. I'm thinking of doing like a crow's nest. Putting the Ripley's like sleeping quarters like up top. I had that idea last night. I was like trying to figure out how I was gonna fit these ladders here. And I realized I could split them and I could have one ladder go up. I thought about having one continuous ladder that goes all the way down, all the way up. I decided that was not as good. That's the color of the wall. That won't work. Might be overdoing it. Appreciate that you're always around somehow. That doesn't really make sense. So now what we want is we want like this thing. We want this to be like this. Would it be like that? Makes sense. That looks weird. I think I might be overdoing this, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Now the real question is, should it be like, should it actually be a little more muted than the railings because it's like obscured by the thing above? I don't know, actually. Oh, you know what? I think I do want to do it like this. Even though it looks a little weird. Does that look okay when I put the catwalk back? Yeah, it looks a little weird. I would probably just take this part out. This may be weirder. Definitely makes it look real. It also draws your attention to it, which I think is reasonable. I'm going to redraw the lower one, and I'm going to make it so the lower one needs to be... Well, maybe this one also needs to be 40 pixels. Yeah, it does. What is it now? 42. What if we just copied this over then? Maybe the lower one should be the same, but one shade darker. I was thinking about that. I think you're right. I think you're very correct. Just put it in place first. This one's too tall, but we'll make it work. We'll just have the cargo bay go up a little higher. I've been messing around with different cutaway patterns again. I know, we already figured it out. I think I like something like this where you don't put the hood over it at the top. I think once you put the hood over it, it gets kind of confusing what you're looking at. Just... I think that's nice. That makes it really... You're really convinced about where the light source is coming from. I like a good fake light. The real problem, and I think Nick's mentioned this yesterday, is that the rest of the cargo bay now looks weird. The rest of the cargo bay does not have enough detail in it anymore. Also, this is too far. Why does that look so wrong? I know that's exactly correct. It just looks weird. Yeah, I like this. This is, again, for the smallest version of the ship for the first one. So we're trying to go minimal. I think when we get to a bigger one, we'll do like maybe the Firefly style, like bigger catwalk setup, including maybe some stairs along one wall or something. But this is supposed to be the smallest, jankiest version of the ship. Ladders ain't paper no more. That's stuff better. Yeah. No, getting a little bit of that 3D look is a huge difference. One thing that kind of bothers me is this disjunction here. There's not a ton I can do about that. I would just move it would just be moved over here. Oh, what I do need to do is I need to remove this. I think it's okay. It looks a little weird. I think it's mostly okay. Probably just reconnect that part. The only thing I don't want to do is this. It's probably better not to draw attention to that, to the weirdness of this. Yeah, just let it go, let it continue on. It's a little bit of an MC Escher thing kind of going on here. I don't love. Yeah, it's all fire. It's Firefly all the way down, Fox. You'll be sad if I don't populate the floor with metal tiles from RimWorld with some metal single-sided grating over the vents and the like. We'll see. I don't think whatever I do will look much like RimWorld. Hey, Rimas, thanks for the hydrate. Happy Saturday. I'm gonna try one more version of this because I'm crazy. I guess for this one, this is fine. Nice. All right. Oh, time to blast this spam bot here. Blast him.
He's dead, Jim.
He is. He is dead, Jim. Yeah, I don't know quite what I'm going to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have slightly different... I don't have a lot of shades, so I have to be careful with the way that I do this. But I'm going to try to do something with the floor tiles, so that you can kind of make out the grid. Just give it a little texture. I'm not there yet. One thing I'm curious about is how to show... Well, I guess that doesn't matter. So you know what I need to do? I think I need to put a couple of doors here. For the airlocks. I think we need to fit some doors here. Which is gonna be rough. We have to redo a bunch of this. It's okay. We're gonna count it out. Actually, what I should do is I should bring the door over first. Sometimes I see them in my feed. Sometimes Twitch preemptively like restricts their post. I still just I still just ban them usually. I damn them. All Event Horizon style. Grab that door. Let's get this door. Which version of this door do I want to use? I don't have the other version of it. Oh, okay. I don't want to use this version. I want to use the non-flipped, but I want to use the non-flipped for the other side. So I guess we're drawing that. Or is that just flipped? Maybe. What do I want to do? I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. Left to right or right to left? Left to right. Okay. So we're going to say X, axis, 4-door. X, axis, back door. I need to make a Z-axis door too. Like a little hatch, for a single tile going down. I need to make one of those. I've never done that. I think it'll be cool. I think the flip needs to come before the 4. If I want it to sort that way. Oh wait, this is the x-axis flip. Not the y-axis. And now I need another set of these that are the... Yeah, okay. Let there be doors. Y-axis or door. So let me see if I understand this correctly. If I consider this the regular door, then what I actually just want to do is just take this, put this here, and then just flip it. Yeah, and that's still the 4-door. Okay, take this. I know I could just make a duplicate layer, but there's multiple frames that you can't see. Thinking about. Okay, so that's a y-axis 4-door. That's not what I want to use here, I don't think. Maybe I do. Yeah, maybe I do. I think that's enough for now. Where is this sit? At the top? Okay. Like that. I also need the x-axis one. I'm a little worried this cargo bay is too big, but I don't really want to make it smaller than this. We're also going to end up with a weird, kind of a weird silhouette, but I think it'll be okay. Like, there's going to be this belly, this cargo bay at the bottom. Then there's going to be this engine room at the back and like a pilot's room at the front. And then there's going to be some airlocks on the side here, some little airlocks. And then there's going to be like a crow's nest kind of deal. That may or may not be their sleeping quarters. It might be. I like the crow's nest in Dark Star, which I watched recently, which I'd never seen before. It's very good. All right, so now we need to line up where this thing sits. So this is a 7-block inner space. Oh, so do we actually need the other one too? Yeah, we do. Unless I want them to just be the same. I actually want them to be the same, huh? You know what I don't have is single block cuts of the doors. I'm gonna need to make those for the cutaway. That's fine. All right, let's count it out. You know what I could do instead of having two airlocks on the side, I could have one in the front on the low side, the low front side. That's maybe superior for what we're trying to do here. And you don't really need 2 airlocks. Not really. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. The only concerning thing is if we have an airlock down here and we have a pilot's thing up here, is the pilot's thing will like always obscure the airlock, and I think that's okay. All we really want to do is avoid obscuring things like the cargo hold in the actual areas that they work and live in, the character. Ship is getting big enough that you could conceivably have additional characters join this ship. Like, I think it'd be okay to have a hammock set up in, like, the engine room, right? Like, Kaylee style. You must surrender, but good day. All right, good day, Magoo. Take it easy. It's your fault. I had a Lever Johnny stuck in my head yesterday. I blame you. Your fault. I guess I didn't need this version of the door then, huh? Oops. Get that out of here then. Okay, so then we need to count from here. Oops. All right, we're heading into ads. This is gonna be another short stream, so maybe just a couple hours. I'm gonna try to get back to my regular streaming schedule next week. I just been so tired. Trying to like right size myself before you know, the game jam coming up. Okay, so there's gonna be, oh my god, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at doing this stuff. Arneo, the Baron finally has some aggressive maneuvers in the decision loop. Nice, nice. Your very first test, he whacks you with a direct hit. Excellent. Yeah, you can hide a lot of AI issues if you just make them aggressive. Because if you make them aggressive and you put the player on the defense, the player is going to be making suboptimal decisions under stress. So the AI doesn't actually have to be that good. And in fact, you kind of don't want it to be. Like, you don't want the AI to, like, be able to counter your hits, right? Like, you don't want the AI's defense to be too strong, because then it feels like the player can't do anything. But it's, like, fine if the AI player is, like, aggressive and puts the player character on the back foot a little bit. You can hide a lot that way. You can read some stuff about how Subset Games handled the targeting logic for the AI. It's interesting. It's interesting how they did it. Just for a while, it was too smart. Hey, Commander. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Appreciate all the regulars hopping in, hanging out with us here. Is this correct? No, this I want to leave. And all of this, I don't know. Listen to that. Arneo, Subset Games. You're interested to read that? Just tell you a bit more what you're to look for. Subset Games, they're the ones that made FTL and Into the Breach. I don't know if they're terribly active anymore. But I would look for, like, maybe their, let's see, what's the best way? I would look for some old GDC talks from them. Either FTL or Into the Breach. They have a lot of interesting things to say about that. The FTL one obviously would be more relevant to your use case. I think there's some interviews too, but I don't usually listen to a lot of audio podcast interviews and stuff. I have like 2 podcasts I listen to. It's actually, I could probably do more, but not big on podcasts, surprisingly. Seen the FTL postmortem a long time ago on GDC, and it's great. Yeah, I think that would be good. That's a good one. And I know it's tempting to be like, oh, I've already seen it. And it's like, I guarantee you've forgotten most of what they say during it. Not you specifically, that just happens to me too. I'm always able to glean some additional piece of wisdom whenever I go back and revisit something like that. hit the door. And then we'll see what we do about that. Wait, what the heck am I looking at here? Be like this? Probably wouldn't it? I made this bigger than I thought it was. How do I do this? I guess I actually... handle it like it's a different material. That seems excessive. What did I just do there? No, that was already there, huh? Oh, that's this. I'm dumb. Right. Commander, you've decided to get back into filmmaking for the fun of it. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Film is like one of my great... I love watching film. Like, it's my preferred downtime activity. Is to watch, like, film and television to an extent. It's something I like a lot, but I think it's also something I would never want to do myself. Mainly because it's such a team activity. I'm not a big team player, in case it's not obvious. I kind of like doing my own thing. But that's cool. I love filmmaking. I love that it occurs. But not I don't want to have to do it myself. How the okay, I get it. I get it. Use this. You know what though? Wait, is this the wrong version of the door? No, it's the right version. Oh, it's over here. I see. How does this work then? I'm not quite sure how to handle that part, but let's clear it out and then we'll look at it. Like, technically there should be another dark line here for the segment of the door that we can't see. I guess in front of this we'll put like an airlock layer. Just call it the airlock. Actually, we'll say airlock back. You don't watch a lot. You love the theory behind filmmaking. You know what I think the big problem is, and I know I'm not the person who says this. There's a lot of people that have this feeling, which is that like something happened. I know what the something is. It's called Marvel, but it was even happening before Marvel, and it's like, what's this doing here? It's the cutoff. Something happened. And now people don't know how to shoot television anymore. Like if you look at a Star Trek post J.J. Abrams, like all the new Star Trek shows after J.J. Abrams did his, and you could argue before then, but I would say everything since, Enterprise. You look at the way they shoot Star Trek TV shows nowadays, and they're all shot like film. They're shot like action films, like. And there's some long ass YouTube criticism essays you can watch about how different this is and how different it feels. Like the wide shot, like multi-camera, like setups of like TNG versus like the super close up, crazy fast cut action shots of like a Star Trek Discovery, Strange New Worlds. I don't know about the Starfleet Academy, but I assume it does the same thing. Basically, any Star Trek show since probably Enterprise. And even Enterprise did it a little bit more too. But J.J. Abrams changed the game. And everyone was like, oh, Star Trek is an action series now, so it has to be shot. But I think this happens elsewhere too, like in Marvel. Since Marvel, blew up and everything. People that are making all these TV shows are big, bombastic things, which is great when you're like, you're talking about Andor. I started with Lost. There's definitely a version of that started with Lost, because from Lost we got Game of Thrones. Because that's where like Damon Lindelof or whatever those guys and the other guy, whatever those guys' names are. Those guys came from Lost and then made Game of Thrones and like, but I don't know. I think I see the connection less clearly in like fantasy than I do. I think you most notice it when you watch a show like if you watch like the new version, the revitalization of Night Court or something like that, where like people don't know how to make 3-camera sitcoms anymore. Like we've forgotten how to make television. And they're like, well, why do we need to know that? Because, we don't need to know that anymore. It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. And it's sad in a way. The sameness that we have to deal with. But yeah, you compare that to like the way they shot like TNG and DS9 and everything. You compare that to like Star Trek Strange New Worlds or something, and you're like, wow, this really is a different world we live in. I purposely didn't compare it to Discovery. I don't think it's Discovery's fault. I don't love the way this got cut off. I'm going to call this engineering. Star Trek is a lens flare series now. Yeah, the J.J. Abrams lens flare epidemic has definitely gotten out of control. Arnie, the thing you hate most about watching modern film is the lack of ensembles. You watched half of Project Hail Mary and it's nothing but Ryan Gosling the whole time. Okay, Project Hail Mary is pretty cherry-picked as being a film about like one guy and his pet rock. I think that's a cherry-picked example, but I totally get what you mean. To prove your point, or to, you know, in emphasis of your point, Ryan Gosling is in fucking everything. And I don't hate him, but he is like the epitome of the neutral face actor. The actor who just assumes a completely neutral face at all times. And so it's up to the director and the viewer to really fill in the blanks. And he's like a good-looking guy, so he can do that. But like, because I love Blade Runner 2049. I was a Blade Runner 2049 skeptic for a long time, but now I rightly consider that like one of the great modern sci-fi masterpieces. You still got some ensemble stuff. We still get Dune. We're getting a third Dune. But I get your point. I get your point. Even the Star Trek TV shows aren't really ensemble pieces anymore because there isn't time. There isn't time to develop all the characters in the ensemble. Because you don't get, you know, 26 series in a year. You get like 8. You get like 8 episodes a season instead of like 3 times that much like you used to. Breaking Bad first aired the same year as the first Iron Man. You wouldn't say it's due to Marvel necessarily. Breaking Bad is perfect. Breaking Bad is a perfect show. I won't criticize Breaking Bad for anything. I think Breaking Bad is in a different vein of like HBO, like prestige dramas, which I guess I should make a distinction between like prestige drama and like action sci-fi. And the area that I'm really complaining about is in the sci-fi TV. Sci-fi TV used to be like slow and cerebral and all about like diplomacy and like if you think about like old Babylon 5 and like Deep Space Nine and Star Trek TNG and like even Stargate SG-1, like I don't know. I'm not an expert in this stuff, so I can't say anything terribly intelligent about it, but I despair over the fate of sci-fi TV. I mean, we still get Andor, right? But Andor cost $800 million a season or whatever. And was shot like a movie. So it actually probably doesn't, you know, contend. You only have one camera? There you go. There you go, Commander. You just watch something bad, very bad is going to happen, and spoiler, something very bad happens. Nice. But you enjoyed it? I have to check that out. I'm not this big, stuffy critic either. Don't get me wrong. Like, one of the movies I'm most excited about is the Sheep Detective movie. The adaptation of 3 Bags Full. That like silly sheep detective murder mystery thing that's coming out that's like all CGI. All CGI sheep. I'm all in on that. So I'm not some big, snooty... I just know a lot of sci-fi. I have pretty particular taste for sci-fi. I usually find something I can enjoy, though, in even the trashiest sci-fi. Like, I loved Space Sweepers. Apparently no one else loves Space Sweepers. I did. I thought it was great. You know what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to set back the engineering and I want to set back the rooms here. I was thinking about having a door straight in line. I think I've changed my mind on that. We might even do like a little elevator thing here on the side. Do some like little service elevators or something. Maybe do like some kind of walk around thing. Might kind of defeat the purpose of the catwalk if I do that. I don't hate that idea though. I at least want to do like a 3-block entryway here and then like a setback door. Let's set that up. Yeah, very much speak for yourself, Nix. I was looking at the speaker list for GodotCon Amsterdam, and I feel like you missed out, Nix. I feel like a lot of your people were there based on all the profile pictures of the speakers. Feel like you missed out on the social event of the season here. All right, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I'm tempted to actually put a double door with a half block. I think that opens up a whole can of worms. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to do something. I really kind of like the idea of having like a service elevator. But the rules of symmetry is making that a little... I also don't know what you would do with a service elevator other than like bring the stuff up. You know, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I think having like... I think extending this catwalk thing over this way is like not a terrible idea though. Like this. Now this is the only question is, can I flip this and does it look weird if I do? Looks like I can get away with it and it only looks kind of weird. Okay, I kind of like this idea of having the railing come out like this and go sideways a little bit. So that there's a bit of a landing on this side. I'll probably do the same on this side. It's a little harder to do that. But it's still doable. Still doable. It would just look like this. Oh, that's the wrong layer. How long have I been drawing on this layer? Goddamn forever. Rip. This is why I don't make layers. It's so confusing. And now I gotta fix all this shit. Three bags, or it's not called 3 bags full. Is it being called Sheep Detective? Yeah, the Sheep Detective. Oh, plural. The Sheep Detectives. Yeah, that's the cinematic event of the year, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm lowbrow. Let no one say I'm some kind of stuffy highbrow cinemaphile. I am very much not. Let it not be said. Alright, so now if I want to do the same thing here, then what happens is like this. Let's get on the correct layer this time, Dave. Let's not do that again. I can't do that again. Arneo, you're thick, bro. You'll literally watch anything. Yeah, that's the attitude. That's the right attitude right there. I also will pretty much watch anything, and I usually find something I like about it. Not always, but usually. Even if it's kind of trash. You usually find something I like about it. As long as the thing was made with some degree of enthusiasm, usually pretty good. There's something redeemable there. This doesn't seem right. Is this how I do this? I guess this is how I do this. This doesn't, something wrong has happened here. Maybe not. I think I need to make this look correctly by doing something like this. Same thing back here. Okay, I think that's looking coherent. Coherence good. Hey, Sapphire. Insert currently non-existent flyby redeem. Yeah, we'll see. I want to do something. Not quite sure I can do what has been what has been suggested. But I'd like to do something. Maybe this is fine, actually. Yeah, it covers this up anyway. Although, you know what? This would actually would probably look like this. I want to do something. I just don't know exactly what we'll do, but we'll figure it out. hope I'm getting this right. I think I am. Oh, I did this in reverse order. I do it like this. Like this. Room looks like it's coming together all right. Looks nice. Thank you. Thank you. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your weekend. Yeah, we're working a lot on the catwalk. I'm making some landings on the side here is what I think I want to do. You know what's wrong? The floors. You know what's going to be a problem? These landings. The way I've set up the shade. Well, it's fine. We'll fix it with texture. Also, what's going on here? There we go. Yeah, like that looks wrong. But maybe it's fine. Yeah, we gotta do something like that. How's the lower ladder look now, though? Kind of washes away. Guess we're gonna stick with that for now. There we go. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah, this palette doesn't have quite as many shades as my palette. Having a bit of a conundrum. Go. I was like, that looks weird. All right. Okay, so we got some landings. We got some landings set up here. That's nice. There's something weird happening here. Oh, you know what it is? It's not consistent. It feels consistent for my rules. Yeah, I don't see how else I could do that. Okay, that's something. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. And now what we'll do is we'll have like a single door back here. Set up like a door, some wall structures. Yeah, there's definitely a disproportionate amount of detail up here, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. You know, the lack of shades could be fine. We just need to put the cargo bay and the catwalk on a different ramp. So I think the catwalk is good on this kind of ramp. But I think with cargo bay, we need to pick a different one. And we can, you know, combine in the middle here. So the only real question is, where do we go? Do we go for like the purpley one? There's actually a large number of purpley ones to choose from. Or do we go for the greenish one? I think maybe not the green one. Although maybe the green one. Maybe this one. Because then we can use the same. Then we don't have to worry about things as much. Does the catwalk want like another layer, like one more layer of shadow underneath it? Leave this. Maybe. I think the answer is a maybe. What, does it want an even darker shade though? Does it want like this one? Well, I'll tell you this. You probably want to use this shade back here. I enjoy this work. I'm really enjoying this work. It's really nice to like unplug my programmer brain for a while. And just, I love art because the feedback you get from doing something, from making a decision in an art piece The feedback is instantaneous, and it is, like, very intuitive. Whereas, like, the feedback you get from, like, a programming system that you're running is not instantaneous, usually. And often not intuitive. Hold on a second. What's going on here? That's wrong. Actually, what is happening here? Okay, yeah, that's correct. All right, take it easy, Magoo. Arneo, but other streams have like costumes, screen pets, animations, and all kinds of cool redeemables, though. Uh-huh. That's true. Other streams also have a ton of shit going on screen. I don't like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not criticizing anyone who does that. I just like a very minimal approach. Like, we don't have, like, obviously there is an age where we could have just, you know, we could do the stream chat avatar thing. I don't like that. I think it's fun. I've definitely been in streams that have that and have had fun with that. I just don't think it's totally for me. I know you're probably mostly joking, but even if you weren't. What's happening here? Like this? Yeah, okay. I'll be wrapping up here soon. I got somewhere to go today. I'm gonna go meet up some friends at a board game, board game spot, where they have like a kitchen and like board games you can play, and it's fun. We'll go play board games for a few hours. Have some like chicken and waffles or something. They usually have crazy food at these places. Yeah, okay, I overdid this here. I did too much of this on this layer. Crazy Pixel. Hey, Skywalk. Yeah, we're making this kind of catwalk scene in the middle of this big empty cargo bay we're working on. Finishing up the landings for it. How are you doing? Alright, I'm not allowed. Okay, I locked that layer. It's like, what are the reasons I'm not allowed to do this? Anything, I should be using this color here. All right, this is okay. This is okay. There's something weird happening here. We're shifting over in a way that's really weird. Why isn't that doing what I expect? It's correct here. And so why is it not correct here? What's exactly happening here? One over, one up, and one over. So you're one up and one over. Kind of weird. Not really quite sure why this is different. That's 7 pixels tall. This one, if it was continuous, would be also 7 pixels tall. This one's only 6 though. So yeah, this whole thing needs to come up one. But then what do I do here? Would it do like this? That doesn't seem right. No, that's definitely not right. But height-wise, it's correct. What is going on here? You know, I'm going to try the opposite. We're going to try to take this and just push this down. That's not right either. I don't think. But it's more right, so... I don't know. I have to think about that. There's something weird happening where this landing is taller than this landing. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this consistently. It might not be, though. It might not be because of the way we're doing blocks. It's amazing once you see the tiny NPC moving on it. Oh yeah, let's just... We're just like do. Yeah, I think it'll be fun having these. I probably should take the highlights off. Still not sure how Jonesy's gonna get up this ladder. Maybe riding Ripley's back or something. All right, I think the time is arriving here. I think the time for leaving is arriving. Twitch wants to play another ad. That's kind of how you know. Let them know it's time to go. So wait, why is this one correct then? It probably isn't. It's probably because I'm breaking the rules down here. I have to think about that. I have to do one of two things. I think the easiest thing to do is just bring this down by 1. Similarly, we would bring this one up by 1. I think this is weird, but I don't see another way to do this. Oh, you know, I understand. I understand what's happening. At the edge, this one actually needs to do like this. Maybe. Like this. No, that's not right. I don't know. I gotta think about that. I'm not sure how to make this consistent. I'm gonna undo these changes. Just figure that out. I'll do some math. I hate it. I hate doing math, but I'll do it. All right, so we've got our catwalk. We've got our little landings. We need to start working on the second level. Figure out what we'll put in the airlock and how we'll cut away the airlock, I guess. It's nice we'll be able to have like a custom cutaway for this. Doesn't need to be super dynamic. It can be very custom for what we require. But yeah, I gotta run to this board game parlor, hang out, play some video games. Not video games, play some board games. Eat some snacks. But I'll be back Tuesday. I'll try to do the proper thing next week and do my full 3-hour streams. Hair's looking greasy today. What little hair I have left. It's not long for this world. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna stop messing with it. I'm making it look worse. Everybody have a lovely weekend. Thanks, Arnio. You too. You'll be fighting the Baron all of tomorrow. That sounds good. I'm gonna try not to do any work tomorrow. Maybe some cleaning and stuff, but I'm gonna try to chill. Try to have a lazy Sunday. I encourage anyone to have a lazy Sunday tomorrow. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, especially on a slow one like today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you all next time. Bye.